Good morning. So glad to have you with us on CCN Sunrise. I love seeing your bright, shiny faces in the morning. We have a great show. We have the Morning Buzz. We're going to talk a little bit about the Yemen Raid and was that a failure or not, and the issues between Trump and John McCain on that matter. And John Wood is going to actually talk with us about that. And then we also have success coach Barbara Doust, who is going to come in and talk about how you can really rev your business fast.
Right.
To success.
Yeah. Then we're going to lighten things up a little bit with the Oscars. Who will be there? Who's most likely to win? We're going to be talking with CCN Entertainment segment star Jordan Utley. He gives us the scoop. And of course, the Taste of Sunrise with Christian Semiato of the Seur Project. And we're going to have a taste of Italy. Isn't that exciting? I'm hungry.
Very excited about that. So, but before we go any further, we'd like to thank our sponsors and advertisers who make the show possible.
Foothill Transit, San Gabriel Valley Economic Partnership, Pasadena Federal Credit Union, EH Financial, Ganal Lumber, Siren Arts Productions. Thank you for your support.
We love our sponsors like Color Dots. Visit them at colordotsinc.com. Now for the Morning Buzz. Was the Yemen raid a success? The Trump administration thinks so, but McCain disagrees.
Yeah, the president faces major criticism for the outcome of the Yemen raid from the left and from the usual suspects on the right. Joining us now, Republican political activist John Wood. Should McCain just become a Democrat?
No, I actually like having John McCain in the Republican Party. I think that John McCain brings an experience and a perspective that is frankly needed within the spectrum of the GOP. But you know, this is an issue with respect to the Yemeni raid that I think that when we try and judge it as a success or failure, it's important to look at it in the context of broader repercussions. So apparently targets were hit. There was loss of life, and in that sense, I agree with both John McCain and Sean Spicer the week before his most current remarks, where each of them said that any action which results in the loss of American life can hardly be considered an unqualified success.
Sure. Now, I think we had a similar kind of mission, and it wound up being much bloodier under the Obama administration.
Right.
Now,
right. My broader point is simply that in the context of, now, the Yemeni government is upset about the fact that, according to them, there was not prior authorization for this mission. Now, the Trump administration disputes that, but the consequences of this result and of this, not just the mission itself, but the broader atmosphere surrounding the Muslim travel ban, well, the travel ban, alleged Muslim travel ban and so forth, has been that it's complicating so many of our relationships with a lot of our foreign allies. And in the case of Yemen, they seem to have taken advantage of this particular mission to capitalize on a broader discontent with Donald Trump's, with President Trump's foreign policy, to be able to say, we're not going to cooperate with the United States of America anymore. So I don't necessarily fault Trump for launching this mission, but in terms of creating the broader atmosphere of distrust, there's got to be some accountability for the commander.
Now, this mission was actually begun by the previous administration, right, carried out during the President Trump's administration. Mm-hmm. How do you think the loss of civilian life impacted the response, both in Yemen and in the United States?
Well, you know, it's a terrible thing, and the daughter of Anwar al-Awlaki was killed in this raid, and for whatever we think about Anwar al-Awlaki, certainly his daughter didn't deserve the fate that came to her. We're talking about a 12-year-old little girl here. But having said that, I think that perception is largely political. Like you said, the Obama administration authorized this raid.
Did they actually succeed in their mission despite human lives?
Yeah,
the loss of other human lives.
Well, yeah, I mean, in terms of eliminating the targets they set out to eliminate, that appears to be the case. So in that sense, it is a success. But again, every mission has broader repercussions, particularly when there's a political environment that's been calibrated in a way that's very sensitive, and I think that's what we have.
So it
here.
sounds like what you're saying is that the judgment as to success or failure, because it's broader, it will take a little bit more time to determine. Is that it?
Well, yeah, that's essentially correct, and you don't want to necessarily judge that by partisan political responses. But you know, John McCain knows much more about military operations than I do. But you know, you always want to take a look at an operation and say, well, was it necessary for us to lose life in a certain activity? Obviously, that's got to go into the
I also
estimation
wonder
as to
what the
whether that was a
average
success.
mission, what the number, the people who lose their lives in the average mission, and when we are looking at defeating terrorism, what is that balance? How do we keep our
Right. But I think that
countries
John's point was this
Yes.
one, which was the loss of any life,
I
and
agree.
to look at it from an average. Probably, if it's your child, my child, our friend, or your daughter, that's all the average you need. So maybe.
Well, yeah, and you know, it's hard to there's in a sense there's no such thing as an average in these circumstances. I mean, it was not necessarily the case that any raids that the Navy SEALs go on is going to result in the loss of life. If loss of life occurs, that probably means that to some extent or another something went wrong. At the same time, risk is just a part of what our men and women in uniform have to take on.
part of war.
No,
Right.
and that's why I bring
Yeah,
up the
that's it,
average. I
yeah.
mean, and that's why I'm trying to compare the difference between
Right,
a
what's-
successful mission or not. And obviously, losing life is not good. But is this a bloodier event than others we've had in the past and moving forward?
Right,
But I
we'll-
think our time is out.
Yeah, we'll have to
We'll
look at that
possibly
discussion.
discuss that one another time. Thanks for being on, John.
Thanks
Not
so
a
much.
problem.
It's
I
good.
really appreciate it. Up next, if you're ready for your next level of success, you might want to think about a performance and success coach.
We'll introduce you to performance coach Barbara Doust coming up.
Every day, Child Protective Services and the Department of Children and Family Services take hundreds of children away from their families. This will cost you and your family hundreds of hours of frustration in dealing with a juvenile court system where there's very little success. Don't try to fight the system and the social worker by yourselves. Call me first. I'm trial lawyer attorney Vincent Davis, and I have about 30 years of experience in fighting in juvenile dependency court for families and their parents. And I've won hundreds of cases, reuniting parents with their children in sometimes days, not weeks, months, or in some cases years. When it's time to battle the social worker and the juvenile court system, give me a call. We can help you. Call 888-888-6582 or visit us on the web at helpfightcps.com. Let's get your children back now.